Folks, I would like to apologize for every bad thing I've ever said about the Pokemon franchise, Game Freak, Pokemon's Twitter account, everything. Because they've done it again. They have announced the release date for Pokemon Home. It is May 30th. They said May 24th before. That was a bit hasty of them. They retracted it. We didn't know if we'd get another release date, but here it is. May 30th, we're going to have returning Pokemon in Generation 9. Pokemon is a great franchise. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are high-quality modern releases, and I would urge you all to purchase them and have fun with them as well. In an open-world Pokemon video game where you can ride around on an ancient bicycle and other such features, such as high frame rate, the Pokemon Iron Jugulus, you know, they've got everything. And I would also like to thank the Smogon Council for fulfilling one of my wishes here. The move Last Respect has officially been banned from OU, which means that Pokemon that were previously banned due to having the move, such as Houndstone and the soon-to-release Basculegion, will be legal on day one of Pokemon Home's release, which I think is great news. Basculegion, I did say that Last Respects would probably end up being banned. That was my prediction. I didn't think it would happen this fast, but even without Last Respects, Basculegion looks like it's going to be very powerful. We'll see what happens with that fella. I'm excited to use it. It's going to be fun. Landorus Incarnate will also be banned on day one, which I think is a good decision. It's been broken like every single gen. Nothing's going to change this time. In fact, it's only gotten better with Terra and Nasty Plot and Calm Mind. So that makes perfect sense. But in a strange choice that I don't know if I agree with, Magearna is going to be allowed in OU, which is interesting because the reason I think this is interesting is because, you know, much like Landorus Incarnate, Magearna is a Pokemon that we've seen be broken in the past, and that is only going to be enhanced with the Gen 9 mechanics with Terra, and also the Pokemon Espathra is going to be banned on day one, and I think that Espathra and Magearna are quite comparable. They're both snowbally win conditions with access to stored power and very good boost moves that can absolutely rob games within moments. And Magearna can do much the same. So I'm wondering, you know, Espathra is something that we've seen be broken already. In the current Gen 9 metagame, it was too overwhelming. It was banned. So I'm wondering, you know, why is this one not getting retested in the new metagame, but this one is? I don't get what the difference is. I mean, I guess it's just a matter of opinion when it comes to the Smogon Council, but I'm wondering, I don't think that it matters too much, because even if Magearna is going to be legal again, it will likely be rebanned very soon anyway, so it's not going to make that much of a difference. But then why not do the same with Espathra? Retest it, ban it if it's a problem. I don't know why they quick ban Espathra as if it's very obvious, when I think Espathra and Magearna are like equal in what they do and how snowbally they might be and how overwhelming they might be. I guess we haven't seen Magearna in Gen 9 yet. We've seen it in Gen 8 yet. We haven't seen Lando Incarnate in Gen 9 yet, but that's auto-banned. I don't know. The way they're handling this is not what I expected them to do. I expected them to kind of just free everything. It's the Wild West for a little bit. They could be quick with the bans, but you kind of want to just play with the stuff first. Some of it we know will probably be banned. Maybe I'd like to chat with some of the council members or something about the philosophy behind this. But regardless, this is what's going to happen. Magearna is going to be legal on day one. So I thought I'd put together a few sets that it might be able to take advantage of. The first and most obvious thing you probably want to gravitate towards is Shift Gear Calm Mind Stored Power set. This is kind of just Espathra too, right? And I think Terra Flying is an obvious choice. Similar to King Gambit, you become ground immune. You can give yourself a free turn to boost up and then go nuts with it. What's insane about Magearna, it doesn't even need to run Terra Blast to just have fighting coverage. It just has Aura Sphere, it has Focus Blast. It has so many moves. Its move pool is vast. But I think that this set is a pretty obvious way to go. I actually think you might prefer lefties on this set, otherwise you get too chipped down because you're spending so much time boosting up. You probably want the passive heals, and the passive heals are nice alongside the defense boosts and the defensive Terra as well. Yeah, I think that this set will be pretty difficult to deal with. I mean, the unaware guys, Tinglu, stuff like that will be able to handle it, but it's gonna be a very good win condition. I think another way to go with Magearna would be something like this. Just Shift Gear 3 attacks. And this combination of coverage will hit a lot of the metagame. Psyshock will hit Clodsire. Terra Psychic Psyshock actually deals like nearly half health damage to Skeledirge with Life Orb. So I'm thinking Terra Psychic just for that, to just nuke through Skeledirge. But you could go, honestly, there's so many options with this. Like you could go Terra Electric, Terra Fairy, Terra Steel, Terra Fighting. But I think that Skeledirge will be something that you really want to nuke through, especially because you will Terra and dodge its Torch Song and then probably 2-hit it. And that'll be pretty game winning after you get your Soul Heart boosts and you just go crazy. I think this set sounds even better than this set. Shift Gear Calm Mind, just because it's more immediately threatening. You just need one turn to set up and you can probably just go crazy. I don't think the Timid is worth it because I looked at the speed benchmarks and +2 speed boosted Magearna can't actually outrun +1 Roaring Moon, and it's like just off from it, like a couple points. And that's the most relevant thing I could find that you even want to outrun. This outruns +1 Baxcalibur, +1 Dragonite, and Dragapult base speed. Another way you could go with this is some kind of bulkier set. I was thinking Terra Water, similar to what Hatteran is using with Carmine Draining Kiss Terra Water. You also get Encore, which can disrupt fellas like Claude, Skeledirge, whatever. Force them to recover. I put a bit of speed creep to outrun stuff like Corviknight, Skeledirge. Terra Water might be getting a bit worse after Pokemon Home because we're actually getting some more electric types in the game, like Zapdos is returning, Thunderous Therian, Regieleki, if it doesn't get banned. So everything Terra Watering might become less common. Like right now, everything Terra Waters because there's like 0 electric types to punish it. Water is such a good defensive type for that reason. Might be getting a bit worse, but I still think that with Carmine boosts, and you know, pre-Terra you resist electric, so I think it'll be fine. Like you'll have the space to be able to boost up enough to then where electric types won't threaten you and physical electrics pretty much don't exist, right? So I do think that this set will be really annoying, impossible to kill, and it's got the disruption of Encore. Wonder if there's another option you could run here, maybe more coverage. You could really customize it a lot of different ways. But yeah, I think this seems very good. And I think this set will also be really good. Maybe even the best Magearna set, a simple choice specs. We've seen like choice spec Sylveon rise in usage a bit, just because it, you know, Fairy is a really good neutral wall breaking type right now. Just big Fairy damage goes kind of crazy. Specs Iron Valiant has always been good. What can switch into this? I was thinking Shadow Ball to nail Skeledirge, Focus Blast for Heatran. Floor Cannon kind of destroys everything else. Landorus Therian, Great Tusk, Volt Switch pivots out. This set kind of threatens the absolute entire world, and it's even better defensively than both Sylveon and Iron Valiant, the comparable points in the meta. Terra Fairy with Floor Cannon will just demolish anything in the world. And, I mean, much higher special attack. This one's a no-brainer. I think this is going to be excellent. And of course, you can't go wrong with an Assault Vest Magearna. This was a good set in Gen 7. It's simple, you know, great defensive typing, high special defense stat, chuck an Assault Vest on it, it's got pivoting, it has a great special move pool, you can't go wrong with something like this. It's weird because I always had a lot of problems with Magearna in Gen 7. I thought it was very overwhelming with its Z-move sets that snowball very quickly. But I always liked this set in particular. I thought this set was kind of good for the meta. It was like a good check to Ash Greninja, and it added a lot of stability. It was like a pivot and just a really good defensive check to a lot of stuff. I think it'll operate the same way if it remains legal in Gen 9. I do believe that these sets will probably push this Pokemon too far over the edge, especially with Terra. Even without Terra, this is pretty busted. In Gen 8, this Pokemon was banned and there was no Terra. Of course, there's been power creep, but yeah, I mean, this is an excellent Pokemon. The meta is lacking in special walls. This is perfect. It's a pivot. It kind of responds to Dragapult, Iron Valiant. You know, it's really good for obvious reasons. Magearna is going to be insane. It's going to be absurd. Perhaps too good. The only way I could see this Pokemon returning to OU is perhaps if they retest Terra in the future. Maybe without Terra, this Pokemon's okay in Gen 9 with all the power creep, but I don't know. Something that I didn't mention is that this Pokemon now gets access to spikes, which is odd. It's a bit weird, like they've removed so much utility from so many Pokemon, but they gave Magearna spikes. I find that just strange. I don't even know if it'll fit on any Magearna set. It's kind of a weird choice on this Pokemon, but you know, it can't go wrong with good old spikes. Can you? It's probably will work somewhere. I don't know. I think that these sets will steal the spotlight though. Anyway, yeah, Magearna. This is gonna be, I mean, if you're gonna make it allowed on day one, I'm probably gonna abuse it myself. Good old Magearna Sneasler, Basculegion Rain. That's going to go crazy. That's going to get me 1,000,000 points on day 1. I look forward to it. I'll chuck these sets that I made up in the description of the video. If you want to prime yourself, do some preparatory building for day 1. What are you guys excited to use? I'll take a look at more Pokemon in the future. Thank you for watching, everybody. You're great. You're awesome. I appreciate the support from all of my different fans. That's great. Thank you very much, everyone. Goodbye.